What is my purpose? Hello, hello. Welcome back or welcome to the channel. This is Soul Whispers with Michelle. This is a soul-led message, which means if it doesn't resonate deep within, or if you're fighting with the story in any sort of way, please leave it behind for the souls that it's meant to find. May love hold you, may truth guide you, and may you be released from whatever is not yours. And so it is, my friends. First off, before I dive into some of the things that came out, even when I was coming up with this spread, I wanted to thank first and foremost the people, specifically Sharon and Alex, who have really supported this channel by financially and also just sharing and commenting and liking these posts. So I am so thankful for you. I was so genuinely I just felt so seen from the donations from the last video. So I thank you in advance for that, and I really can't thank you enough. Yeah. All right. So onward and upward, or whatever you want to call it. So anyhow and anyway, when I was thinking about purpose, I think that there's a lot of information that you're able to find out just on the questions that you have, right? So for example, what is my purpose? When I'm looking at that question, it feels like, okay, if you're asking what your purpose is, it feels like there's a part of you that doesn't feel fulfilled by what's happening right now. Doesn't feel like they're living out what they're meant to do. Maybe they feel like they're meant for more or greater or just something. And so I feel like when people are searching for their purpose, it's this kind of awakeness, because you understand that there's more to life than just the everyday stuff. And so I feel like when you're looking for the purpose, you're looking for something greater and more fulfilling. So what I realized is purpose is often your identity in motion. And it was really interesting when this kind of concept came out, because it's fascinating to me to realize that your purpose is as simple as being your authentic self in motion. I like, there's no other way to say that. It's very simple. But with that being said, then that helps me understand that part of when people are searching for purpose, that there may be things that are patterns, masks, behaviors, mental belief systems that need to be either rebirthed or really dropped off completely in order for you to feel as though you are living your purpose. Okay, so all of that said, I am saying all of that because this is how I came up with this spread. And these are the questions that I feel like will help us get to the answers of all the things that I've kind of just gone through. There's one more thing that kind of stood out when I was going through this, and it was that purpose is often what naturally happens when your authentic energy is allowed to move unobstructed through life. It's kind of that thing where you're just doing you, and all of a sudden everything starts showing up for you. And sometimes I think that's where, when you're aware that all these things start showing up, it almost feels like this is when sabotaging behaviors can come in. Because it's like, okay, what am I doing? I want to make sure I keep doing this. And that can be like a little bit of a lack frequency coming up, just because you're scared that the other shoe is going to drop, so to speak. All right, let's just get into the spread. I've already taken a lot of time just for that opener. So, what feeling or desire is driving your search for purpose? What feeling or desire is driving your search for purpose. Finances. That makes sense though too. Finances are easier to come by when you're doing what you love because you can produce more of it. And when you're doing something you love, people find that contagious. Even if they don't necessarily need something, if the way that you present it is highly authentic, it creates this like, ooh, I want to experience that in the way that this person is. So the fact that the desire for your purpose is finances, this is leading me to believe that you're looking for the work that you do to be a source of physical resources for you. What part of, wow, that came out fast. What part of myself or yourself feels unexpressed right now? You know, this is interesting because this came out with the reading with where are my people and who am I? And in part, like, again, this dolphin always kind of stands out to me as a reminder for me to, yes, you lead, but it's not all seriousness. It's not all discipline. That there's other energies and experiences and fun to have while you're leading. So the part of you that feels underexpressed right now is the person that is this leadership ability of you. That's interesting. I may get more into that. We've got a long way to go here because we have 12 positions in this. And so I want to make sure that I get through all of it. We may go back to that because I'm a little... What's coming through for me, or the questions that I'm having, is what particularly are you not expressing as a leader? Or really more so, what wants to express from you? What energy in you wants to lead is more, you know what? Let's do that actually. Well, we'll use this deck. What energy in you is looking to lead that is underexpressed right now? What energy? Sacral chakra. This is like your, it's like the turn on card. Like, ooh, I want this. Like, I know I desire this. I want this. So how would that relate then to this part of you? Your desire to lead is what is underexpressed right now. That's interesting. Actually, that makes a lot of sense actually, because honestly, sometimes I have that same issue. I'm like, I don't want to lead. But with that said, guys, I personally, my experience is the most authentic leaders, the ones that are basically the easiest to follow, are those that don't ask that you follow them. They just do what they do. They lead basically by their example, by their logic, by their emotion, by their loyalty. It's like, again, you're not leading them, they're following you. And I can see where people following you may be like, the person with a lot of heart, right? Like deep, deep heart. Hold on, this music is too loud. All right, where were we now? That there's there can be a lot of pressure on leaders when you are leading and using your heart. It's like you don't want to lead people in a direction that's going to harm them. And I think that it's really it's almost important for leaders to have that sense so that they stay balanced, right? They don't get too much in their ego and they're not over pleasing in a leadership capacity. But I do think that that keeps you balanced to be like, how would I feel if people followed me into this? But I also think that you have to allow people to make their own choices. You don't know why their soul may choose that experience, even if it harms them in a way. It could be that that particular harm actually pivots them into a different direction, closer to their own soul's alignment. So I just think that there's a way for you to lovingly release what happens to people if they follow you. But maintain that your actions have consequences or they have effects. But if you're following your own alignment and people follow you, that's their choice. And you have to let people make their choices. Okay, what natural energy do you carry effortlessly? What natural energy do you carry effortlessly? None, I guess. Just kidding. Control. You're very, very emotionally intelligent. And you are able to, I don't want to say control your emotions like you're trying to change them. What I mean by control is like the surfer riding the waves. It's not that you're trying to stop the wave, but you understand the wave and it's kind of like you ride it all the way through without necessarily making big choices. It's like, I'm going to ride this until I get the clarity of what comes next. Okay, where am I currently leaking energy or life force? Research. What are you researching? This gives me the feel of like if the cards are saying that you're wasting energy and life force energy doing research, it would lead me to believe that whatever it is you're researching, you already have the answers. You either haven't accepted it yet, or perhaps there's something about what you've come to that makes you uncomfortable. But if we're going just with the cards, it's like there is no more research to do. I feel like now it's integrating and embodying what you have researched. I noticed step back when I did that. And that is this is like the reflection, balancing out, right? The scales, so to speak. And it could also be a balance of research and then putting into action or embodying and integrating the things that you are researching. All right, let's see. What fear or attachment blocks you from embodying your purpose fully? What fear or attachment blocks you from embodying your purpose fully? Ooh, that's weird. Your soul tribe. What about your soul tribe? Let's see. What about your soul tribe blocks you from embodying your purpose fully? What about your soul tribe blocks you from embodying your purpose fully? We have throat chakra, don't know if it's like you don't want to speak. I mean, this would go with leading, right? So you have that lead, the desire. What was it actually? The desire driving your search. Well, that was finances. The part of you that feels underexpressed right now was that leadership. And what I'm seeing here is the fear, and I don't think it's your attachment. I think it's the fear. I think it's fear of what people are going to think about the way you speak, but you need to use your voice in your expression. When I say use your voice, it's not just talking for talking's sake. It's using your voice to express something. And I would almost assume with that research card coming out here that it's talking to your soul tribe, your people, your friends, your family. If you have a YouTube channel or something like that, like it's expressing yourself authentically from what you've researched. All right, let's move on. What false belief about purpose are you carrying? Heart chakra. Got a lot of chakras coming in this. Heart chakra, for what false belief about purpose am I carrying? You know, it's funny. It's like I'm going blank here. That doesn't normally happen. Well, it does, like, okay, so if I'm going blank, what does that mean? I'm trying to figure out what... The heart chakra is the capacity to receive. And I'm talking this through so I could try to get the answer for you, okay? So just this, and just so you know, this is how I figure things out. This is how I can reach conclusions. I have to talk through it. You might be the same because of that throat chakra card coming out. Anyhow and anyway. All right, so the false belief about purpose. What false belief about purpose are you carrying? The heart chakra has to do with being open to receiving energies. And resources are a type of energy, right? So, it leads me to believe that there's a false belief about what you have to do to receive. All right, let's see if we can narrow down what false belief from what you have to do to receive? What false belief about what you have to do in order to receive are you carrying? What false belief? Okay, there's something from the past. Oh, and solitude. Feels like the false belief is you think you have to do it alone. And I think that comes from something that happened in the past. What I would say for that is go back to that situation, because typically when we can't let something go or we've put a pattern in place so that we don't experience that same pain again, it typically is a sign, or can be a sign, that instead of taking the wisdom from the painful experience you went through, you've only taken the pain and you haven't alchemized that into wisdom yet. Typically, when you can alchemize the pain into wisdom, it allows you to move on and release that pain that you feel, and it like literally just leaves you energetically. So I would say go back to whatever memory that would be for you where you felt like you had to do everything on your own in order to receive. And I would just look at that situation again and ask yourself, what wisdom did I learn from this? Why haven't I released this yet? And just see what comes up. Write through it, talk it out loud, and just see what your soul whisper says. See what comes out. I think that would be beneficial for you. Okay, how is purpose already expressing in your daily life? How is purpose already expressing in your daily life? So right off the bat, I got wisdom and knowledge. And remember we talked about you being one of your natural gifts that you do effortlessly is being emotionally intelligent, understanding when your emotions come up that there's a deeper seated layer to it, and you just ride that and you know what to do with the emotion, right? You know how to channel it and actually like surf it and have fun with it. Now, as it relates to what you're already expressing in your daily life that you're not aware, I think it's your conversations with people. And your wisdom and knowledge, see how there's like the water underneath this? I think you're already talking to people about how to get through certain emotions or things of that nature. And or you're just developing even more emotional intelligence. And this is where purpose is already expressing itself in your life. I'm also noticing where I'm placing that card, which is underneath the finances card. So it leads me a little bit to this impression that that you can make money off of what you have learned and helping people through the same processes or even the same skills that you've used to gain this emotional intelligence. All right. What kind of environment helps your purpose thrive? What kind of environment helps your purpose thrive? None. No environments. No, I'm just kidding. You have reconcile. Yeah, see, that's what it feels like with you. Where you thrive is environments where you're reconciling things, like people's emotions. Like, I'm so angry and I want to do this. And it's like, you're like, yeah, I totally understand that. I would feel the same way. How can we express this differently? Or I don't know. There's just something about the way that you reconcile or maybe even redirect people as they're going through these emotions. Again, and where I'm putting this card is underneath the control. So I think that which is that the ability to withstand and have emotional intelligence as you are moving through obstacles, emotional obstacles, really. I feel like you can help people see the wisdom in the pain that they have previously experienced, as though you can help them alchemize what they've been through and turn it into something that actually propels them forward instead of keeping them stuck and stagnant where they are. What action will bring you in deeper into alignment with your purpose? What action will bring you deeper into alignment with your purpose? This card has come out a lot, but it's trust yourself. You know, this reminds me or takes me back to what part of yourself feels underexpressed, the desire to lead. And we talked a little bit about that, like the desire to leave comes with it. What is the Spider-Man thing? What is it? Great power. Why can't I think of this? Interesting that's escaping me. But basically, leading is powerful. And it's like, understand the power you wield. And for you, again, this particular collective, it feels like you have the heart to lead. You really do. It's like you have the heart to lead because you don't want to lead anybody astray, because you don't want your energy to have a negative effect on somebody. That you're a very kind-hearted person. And to trust that your guidance and trust that the things that you say really do guide people into wisdom and intelligence. Also, that card's going underneath the research card. So trust what you've researched too. And implement it, embody it. There's something about what you've researched that it feels like you're done. It's done. For now. I mean, we always I go in spurts like that. I just mean for this season of life. What does living with my purpose actually feel like in my body? Oh. What does living with purpose actually feel like in your body? What does living with purpose actually feel like in your body? Energy. Living with purpose is I can do this. I will do this. It's like the willpower and the inspiration to actually move. That's what it feels like in your body. That is cool. That's sitting underneath the throat chakra and the soul tribe too. I feel like it's you can help them. You can help your soul tribe. And you do it through your natural expression. What transformation is trying to occur through this phase of your life? What transformation is trying to occur through this phase of your life? Ooh, I love that for you. Breaking patterns. Wasn't I just talking about that? I was somewhere in this. But yeah, breaking patterns. And you know what? This card is going right underneath that heart chakra. The whole thing that's blocking you, or is this belief that you have to be in solitude or do things on your own in order to receive. And this card's going right underneath that of breaking that patterning. So that's pretty awesome. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, interesting. All right. Finally, what does your highest self want you to understand about your purpose in this moment? What does your highest self want you to understand about your purpose in this moment? I like to say things in a funny way because it's entertaining to me. What does your highest self want you to understand about purpose? I feel like the fact that a card didn't come out with that, it was like part of it is like having fun. Because I feel like this is my purpose, but if I had to do it where I was very serious and like and I couldn't be funny or like let my little child play a little bit, this would not be as much fun. So I do feel like that's part for you too. One of the things that your highest self wants you to understand about purpose in this moment. Let's see if there's anything else though. What does your highest self want you to understand about purpose in this moment? Epiphanies. Well, I don't get that. Let's see. Oh, interesting. I don't know why that would be coming out, but for your highest self right now, the epiphany is like, understand that your purpose isn't singular. Because what we talked about straight off of this reading was that purpose often is identity in motion. And we have so many different identities that are wrapped up in one. Like different archetypes that are all kind of wrapped up within us. So I think it's important to understand, or your highest self is wanting you to understand that your purpose is like multifunctional and it can change. And it also is bringing me back to that purpose is often what naturally happens when your authentic energy is allowed to move unobstructed through life. And I think throughout life, it's that you're going to realize where it's like, oh, okay, this is obstructing me. It's like you can't see the 5 obstructions before the one that's current because it's obstructing the other obstructions. So I feel like the epiphany is you get to this point, realize what's blocking you. You get to the next point, you realize what's blocking your purpose. In other words, you're realizing what's blocking your authentic identity from expressing. And that this is going to continuously happen throughout life. All right, that's it. That's what I have for you today, my friends. If you felt seen, truly seen, if this was a confirmation for you, if you felt like this really confirmed or solidified something that you've been feeling, I ask that you reciprocate that support. My Venmo and PayPal are located in the description. And or if you'd like to support this channel in a free way, liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel does just that. Furthermore, especially if you've stayed here to the end, please, if you want to comment, well, first comment whatever feels good, right, and true for you. But the other part is I'd really like more soul questions. I know what my soul wants to know. And I can and I am basing things off of that. But what I would really like to know are the questions you guys have for your soul. If you could ask your soul one question, what would it be? And always remember that my responses to these or the intention I have is when I do respond that it feels exactly right and true for you. It's not confusing. It's not like I'm bringing up something new. It would be that everything I'm saying is your truth, and this is how you know it's your confirmation and that it is for you. All right, until the next whisper, my friends.